What up, everybody? Welcome back. This right here is going to be comments with Caleb. True Sight Podcast. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be hopping into some comments on a TikTok recently that I made that has to do with debt and cost of living and household income, etc. To give you a little bit of context, I was reacting to a video of a woman. Actually, let's see if we can just play it.
Your father is just making an average American salary. How are they affording?
Well, I'll tell you. Listen, middle class income right here. I have a beautiful stay at home wife, 2 kids, 3 dogs, beautiful house with a mortgage on it. That is the only debt that I have. You hear me? Only debt. No credit cards, no student loans, no financing a vehicle. That's all a scam. Okay. These Cry Me a River videos, that's what it's all about. They never, ever, and I've seen them on Twitter, I've seen them on TikTok. They never ever list all their debts. Now I know she mentioned some of them here, but they never go through the whole thing. So I invest about 30% of my income. A lot of times people are 30%, 40%, even half their income is on debts. That's your issue. Period. Live below your means and don't take on debts.
I can see how that might have come off like I had some comments. Oh, this is arrogant. Stay humble, blah, blah, blah. Like, I understand. But I didn't say anything that was untrue. I'm not trying to bring anybody down. You know, I'm an open book, right? I won't reveal things. You know, I'm going to protect my family, but when it comes to finances and stuff, it's something I'm very passionate about. And I think a lot of people are lost. So I've seen a lot of these videos of people, reacting in really nice vehicles, and a lot of them don't even mention their debt, and they're saying, "Oh, I'm paycheck to paycheck. This is so hard," but they never mention a lot of the debt they've taken on. So I'm tired of hearing it, quite frankly. And I know a lot of other people are. 95% of these comments are mostly positive and agreeing with me. So let's just hop right into some of them here. And I'm not prepared. I didn't select any. So we're just going to kind of scroll through. And Cam24 said, people also refuse to live within their means. My husband and I both work, own a home, plus we bought more property, own 2 cars. It can be done. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Completely agree. I don't know if this individual is a mother, but hopefully they have the means where she can focus on motherhood when she does have children. So let's go to the next one. So T Walker says, living within your means isn't that common. Yeah, I know. That's why I am pretty passionate about correcting that for people and letting people know there is an alternative. This guy says, shop for nurses. But how do I impress strangers with crap that they're not impressed with? I mean, it's a good point. You're going to have to put that aside, I guess. They say it's obviously doable, but it's extremely hard. You have to make extreme cutbacks. You're saying it's easy is extremely tone deaf. Okay. So let me clear that up a little bit. What I'm saying is, if you made all those mistakes, it's not easy. I agree. I agree with you. It's not easy. What I'm saying is, if you don't have consumer debt and you're middle class, it's pretty easy. What is it? TGen Texas. They say, no, F that. You didn't say how much your mortgage was, nor how much you make. So I'm an open book when it comes to this stuff. I'm right at median household income at 75K. I make about 77 before taxes. I have no income or state income tax. My mortgage was 325, 330, something like that. And the house was 435, I think. 435,000. Yeah. So we put a down payment on it, and that's what I make. Yeah. I make a couple grand above US median household income, and it's just one income. It's just me. So Alicia says, to me, the biggest flex is a car with no notes. I would tell my younger self that 100%. I know when you're young, you want to have a nice vehicle and you want to do all that stuff, but you can't afford it. Affording today is the definition of, well, if I keep my job and I keep making these payments, I can afford it. That's not affording it. Affording it is writing a check or handing them the money. That's affording it. So this is a good one. Zoe3, you only make that money because of the government. The structure is everything. You'd make less much anywhere else. So I would move. That's the answer to that. I'm going to move and work until I, find something that suits me where I'm doing well. I'm not roasting anything right here. This guy, Angel, he says, I'm the opposite as far as debt. 3 kids, wife, but a lot of debt. So I said, RIP, what's your net worth? I'm curious. He said, tough question to answer, but 95% of our debt is real estate, mortgage, addition, 1.25 million income is about 450K. So he makes almost $500,000 a year. I then go to ask him, or I asked him, what's your net worth? And he does not know it. That's dangerous. He could be way overextended on his debts. And let me tell you, if the economy gets much worse and those banks come to collect, you know, he I don't want to pick on this guy. It sounds like he's, you know, works hard, has a successful career, but you know, he's kind of faking it. And until he can get those debts down, it's a fake, in my opinion. I don't care how much money you make, dog. You're not, you know, it's fake rich. Chrissy says we're just such an instant gratification culture. He's so right. Yeah. It's just the nature of people now. Everything they want instant, you know, and I get it. I do the same stuff. You know, I love Amazon. I love sometimes like we DoorDash food, you know, we got to that level. So we got the benefit of that, but you know, I get it. And you cannot, and I'm fine with people instant gratification, but it needs to be your money, not someone else's, not a credit card company's, not, you know, financing a vehicle, not a bank's. It needs to be your money. Okay. So this one's good. Mamao, I don't know. You invest in what? If you make under 100K, it's going to take a million years to get relief from investing in that way. That's simply not true. A big part of the reason I'm a 1%er for my age is investing. It didn't take me a million years. It took me 17 years, 2 of it hard learning, and then 15 years of being consistent, and then really the last 8 years going at it hard. Not true. I'm living proof of that. So this one's good. It's funny how your answer is to cut back on life and not fight the government for our pricing or for outpricing Americans. We all don't live in trailers, sir. I'm not even going to say what type of house I live in. I'll address his statement. I can't fight the government, okay? We as a people can, but I can't control what they do. I can control what I do. I don't live in a trailer, far from it. And yeah, my answer is to cut back and work hard. That's my answer. Work hard, especially if you're a man. Work hard. I worked 3 jobs in my 20s, you know, and it took me a while and a lot of dedication, a little bit of luck, but it took me, you know, I'm self-made. So I didn't get handouts to get to this point. So let's go on to the next one. So Jay Gary, you can make up money, but you can't make up time. Sometimes it's worth financing things to build lifelong skills and passions, a Renaissance approach. I get what he's trying to say. And I would never do that. I would never, ever force my family not to enjoy life. What I do is, what I try to teach is we try to find happiness in the simplicity of life. But I can pick everybody up and we can travel the world tomorrow, you know, for months. It's not, but you don't have to seek that out to find happiness. So I get what he's saying. You know, don't penny pinch your way to missing your life. I get that. I did that alone in my 20s before I met my wife, to get the knowledge and the discipline so I can do this for them whenever I want. Christmas is going to be pretty lit this year. So let's go to the next one. Smashly. Nope. 2-parent income, both over 50K. Only debt is mortgage, no credit card, car payment, student loans, and it's still tight. So these individuals make $100,000 a year, and apparently they have no debt except their mortgage, like me, and they're still tight. They're probably not budgeting. They have no idea where their money is going. It's probably going to food. It's probably going to, you know, eating out, stuff they don't need, subscriptions, you know, things like that. I would have to look at their bank statements to resolve that for them. So let's go to the next one. So this guy kind of said the same thing. Whoopsie popcorn. Okay, but hear me out. I have no car debt, no credit card debt, only mortgage with 3 kids, a regular home, $80,000 income. We're still struggling to budget. You've got to get serious about just like weight, you know, calories in, calories out. You got to get serious, money in, money out. You have to. So Father Gas said, yeah, you're full of shit. I'm going to hit you with reality now. Before this dumb ass took office, the economy was good. People could afford food. I understand. Yeah. I didn't vote for him. I completely understand, but I can't control that. I can't. So when we do have sunshine and rainbows in our government, I don't need to. And that's the problem. Look, y'all, I don't want to talk over anybody's head, but like the Fed set, I believe it was a 5.75% rate. And the next month we broke consumer price index. We hit a 9.1 CPI. So people were just spending. And it's finally, now that they're seeing these rates, they're finally pulling back a little bit. But yeah, when we get COVID checks, right? When we get the COVID stimulus package and all that BS, there was near record savings accounts right after that. And then the following month, almost record lows. People are spending their money, instant gratification. They have no discipline. So when we have sunshine and rainbows, good government, good president, good, everything else, you need to not spend, put it away, and you'll have a little more control of your life when the clouds start to roll in and it gets a little rainy, right? So Toasty Buns, when my son was born and my wife became a stay-at-home mom, we used credit cards to stay afloat for a while, which is really dumb for us, but we're both working on it. They recognize it, and I applaud that. That's awesome. It's way better than coming in here and saying, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, blah, 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 blah. They're recognizing it, and yeah, good man. Work on it. So Clark Barr says middle class income is Vegas shit. 80K in Oklahoma is pretty easy peasy. 80K in Massachusetts is starving. Yeah, move. I'm just talking about, I can't cover every state. I'm talking about the U.S. median household income next. So I'm not going to be too brutal here. Alyssa says, I'm not crying a river. People literally can't afford life, rent, 950, 60, blah, blah, blah. Baby stuff, 100. So, and again, this is I'm just going to speak in reality as a man logically to the world. All right. I spoke with this individual. That's why there's some replies under there. And I basically brought up and asked her, can I ask you some questions? And, it came down to, she never got married. She is a single mother making, I think it was $14 or $16 an hour. Her baby daddy does provide stuff for the child when he does see her. But that's, again, all that stuff is on you. And anyone like that, it's on you. That's the decisions you made. You decided to have children before getting married. This is your life. And I can't, if they were doing everything right, I would be a little more, sympathetic and try to look into the actual numbers, but I'm not even going to look at the numbers if you made bad decisions. That's on you. You could have, made this guy, if he wanted to have a family with you, marry you, and then you could have maybe stayed at home while he worked and provided. Perfect. I mean, right on cue, right? Julie Bean, thank you. Stay-at-home mom, married to a blue-collar husband, 3 kids, and we're doing just fine because we've always lived within our means. Next, totally agree. Stay-at-home mom here, debt. We have our mortgage and our camper, 15-year-old cars, no payments, student loans, no credit card debt. Get rid of the, get the camper done. That's silly. You should have bought that with cash. Let's go to the next one. So here we go. Hey Cam says, we have 7 months left in our car, and I honestly doubt we'll ever buy a brand new car again. Yeah, I'll never. I'll buy a new vehicle, but I'm gonna write a check. I'm not gonna finance that mess. That's silly. Next. So this is gonna be the last one. I like this right here. Mr. Slides says, Mr. Slides, women are pretty much working to pay the daycare to have someone else raise their kid. That's a sad truth in the U.S. I'm gonna wrap it up there on that point. So yeah, the daycare. I saw a chart one time that was just scams, daycare, pharmaceutical industry, that the cost of what it takes and then what they make is complete BS. Okay. So married couples out there or boyfriends, girlfriends that have a child, strongly consider it. Don't look at what you both make. Don't look at, my career. Don't look at that. I would advise the mother do this because a nurturing mother is very different. Consider staying at home. There's a reason. I want to say it was 12% in 2020 stay-at-home mothers, and now we're looking at about 30. There's a reason that's happening. So screw these daycares, man. Plus someone else is raising your kid. Get out of there. Now look, last thing I'll say is when y'all see me or Seth doing this stuff, you have to understand we are coming from a place of love, and we do want to touch and help people as much as we can through not our knowledge, what little we have about, we're two middle class guys. Seth is a former Marine. He still works, and we see this stuff, and we're not above anybody. We're not doing way better because of anything from generational wealth or handouts. We're both self-made men, and we think we have pretty good lives, and we're gonna try to, from the self-improvement side of the podcast, we're gonna try to bestow some of that knowledge on people if they want it. Now, if they just want to talk cash and go on, we're not gonna entertain that. So that's all I have, guys. We're going to be trying to do some call-in shows shortly, maybe even on our next episode. So be ready for that. And if you got something to say, again, in a respectful manner, disagree or agree, feel free to look out for that. I'm going to try to get some stuff set up so we can do that. But I appreciate everybody's support. TikTok is taking off. It's doing great. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't. And I will catch y'all on the next video. Thank you.